I'm from a really small town, Napanee, Ontario, in Canada. The population was like 5,000 people. I had no connections, didn't know anybody. I knew that I liked singing, and it came from a very pure place. On my first record, I was like a little tomboy and just wanted to wear pants, Dickies, Converse. And if someone put me in a dress, I wouldn't have been able to really be myself. It's important just to do what you want, even if it's different. Be the black star. I was born to be a crazy bitch. Or a superstar. My name is Avril Lavigne, and for a living, I'm a professional rocker. I write songs, I'm a performer. I design clothing. I have a clothing line called Abby Dawn. If you love me, if you hate me, you can save me, baby, baby. My parents named me. My dad is French-Canadian, so I just got called Avril. I didn't change my name because I didn't ever really think I needed to. I know some people do, but I'm kind of glad because it's cool because it's a name that you don't really hear much, so.
Life's like this.
I started singing when I was really young.
'Cause life's like this.
When I was 2 years old, my mom said that I came home from church singing, and she knew that I was going to be a singer at that point. She called me her little songbird. I just love singing, being on stage. I did a lot of like musicals and acting, and I started writing songs when I was 14. It was just a passion that I had, so it was just something that was very natural for me that I just love to do. I think I was the wild one in my family. I was the one out of the 3 kids who was always getting in trouble, even though I think about it now, I wasn't really doing anything that bad. But I was like the one who would like get suspended for drinking beer. I was the one who would sneak out of the house. Just innocent, fun. So I was kind of the one out of the kids who was like grounded the most, but it's all good. I started learning the guitar because my dad had one. I just started playing and learning by ear, and taught myself how to play. So I use it as a writing tool, and I play a little bit of guitar on my records now, and I perform with the guitar. All my life I've been good, but now, and then I learned the piano. I actually took piano lessons for 2 years when I was really young, but I didn't like taking lessons because I didn't like, I don't know, I don't read music. I'm more of a person that just wants to sit down and figure it out on my own. That's my style. Some people are really amazing musicians and can read music, but for me, it's just been like, I figure out my own chords and I write, and it just kind of comes to me. And then I learned the drums by myself also. So I like to play them up on stage. And then maybe one day I'll record the drums on my record, just to say I did it. I started singing around town, Napanee. at fairs, banquets, at the high school. So I just sang and worked really hard, and I kind of like made it my job. I started like getting checks here and there.
We just made $15.
Started sending out some videotapes. I ended up going to New York to do my first demo deal, and I got into the studio and started to record some stuff, and someone had heard that there was this little 15-year-old girl in town.
There's just like kind of like a little bit of a buzz going around about me.
Yeah.
I ended up like 2 days later singing for LA Antonio Reed, who was the president of Arista Records at the time, and he just said, "Oh my God, I was having such a horrible day, and you were the sunlight that just came in," something like that. And so I was like, that's a good thing, right? I was like this little 15-year-old girl, and they were like throwing me up in the air, and they're like, "You got a record deal." So basically he signed me on the spot, which doesn't really happen very much. And I just remember being like, so what's like a record deal? Like, what does that mean? Because I was so young, and I was hearing all these big terms like publishing deal, record contract, record company, this, that. And I'm like, what does all that mean? I just love music, and I just love writing, and I just love to sing. And I was like, I get to make a record? Wow. Signed the deal pretty much the day I turned 16. Moved to New York City, got to leave school. But my parents said I had to do homeschooling, which I said I was going to do, and I didn't. And it took me a year to make the record, and then Complicated was the first single that came out. And it all worked out. Thank God.